Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. We are live now with Solving Your Stress mini series every Monday in the lunch hour, coming to you live to answer the questions that you submitted to me about stress. If this is your first time tuning in, I am Sam, your host, and how is it that I know about stress? Well, I lived through one of the most stressful events in our country's history. I'm a 9/11 first responder, was right there front and center in Tower 1 when the plane hit it. Went on to be diagnosed with post-traumatic stress close to about 2 years after. And after getting well, which could be the topic of its own video series of how that went, stress, if you have been diagnosed with PTS, it never leaves. It just takes on different forms, and it's really about awareness and recognition. And you have to learn how to do that. You have to be very purposeful with it. So that's how I know about stress. And every week, again, I am answering your questions that you submitted to me. And this week, this week is like a flag being thrown up. This is a plea for help. Sam, my kids are stressing me out. I am a parent myself of a now 12-year-old, and I know exactly what you mean. I think as parents, we all know it's a forever responsibility. And so in addition to what's running in our backgrounds, whether it's be stress from work, relationships, whatever that is, we've got an added component if you've got kids in the picture. And, I've tried so many things throughout the years, counting down from 5 to 1, from 3 to 1, trying to compartmentalize. And it all comes down to what we've been talking about from the very beginning. 3 key strategies: detach, prioritize, and execute. Now, I don't know what it is with kids especially, but the detachment part is like huge. And it's something that has to be learned. And in all honesty, I am still learning how to do that. And so the detachment part is key, because what are kids looking for? What I have learned throughout the years, talking to a lot of experts in the kid field, is that kids are always looking to elicit a response from you. And whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. They want the response. And so if you can learn to detach, you can, again, stress is visceral. You can feel it building up. And whether you're walking in the door with stress from work, and then your kids are coming at you, and kaboom, you have that big explosion, and then as parents, we always regret it. That sucks. Been there too many times and have apologized too many times. And like I said, it's something that I'm still navigating and trying to get a handle on. But the detachment part is central, and it's key. And so when you feel that your children are stressing you out, when you feel your body wanting to go into an immediate reaction, versus response, and we talked about that, it's that reaction, that tidal wave, whatever you want to call it. That's what we want to that's what we want to bring down, because we don't want the reaction. We don't want that regret of having to go back and say, hey, son or daughter, I am so sorry, that was uncalled for. What we want to do is fashion a proper response. And sometimes the proper response is, I need a minute. I hear what you're saying. I'm not prepared to respond. Sometimes the response is, if you don't stop, you're going to need to go to your room. Okay? And sometimes the response is, I have to remove myself. I'll get back to you in 5 minutes, but please respect my space. All right? And then when 5 minutes is up, you need to go back and have whatever discussion they want to have. If you break those promises and you don't come back, or you don't ask for additional time to again, that detachment part, and everybody's ability to detach is different. The more you do it, it's like building a muscle, it's a skill. The more you do it and practice it, which means the more stress you're exposed to, the better you're going to be. So it's kind of a catch-22. Yucky stress, but learn how to detach even better. All right. So you've always got to come back with an appropriate response for the situation, whatever your kids are doing to stress you out. Remember, you know, being a parent's a forever responsibility, and something that is a big lesson that I learned, and I'm watching it happen, is that your children are going to take on your behavior. And it's, when you see it, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's what I do, or that's what my husband does, or that's what my partner does. You're going to see it, and it's going to be like a 2x4, slam, especially if it's yucky. And I certainly have been there a few times. And so it's really important right now that when you know your buttons are getting pushed, when you just feel, again, that overwhelming tidal wave coming up, that you put the brakes on, that you detach, that you ask for space and take the time that you need so that you can respond to your kids appropriately. So like I said, I'll say, you know, weeks, months, years, they're not throwing you back in your face, i.e. your behavior when you get stressed. It's not a fun thing. So that is the question this week is, you know, help my, like I said, it's an SOS flag, help my kids are stressing me out. It's always about that first key is detachment. And then you got to come back to your kids with an appropriate response versus that negative reaction, that tidal wave, that yelling, that, like I said, if you are having to go back and apologize for your reaction to your kids, which it's probably not even from your kids. They were just the last straw that broke, if you will. And yeah, so we don't want to go there. I'm speaking from experience, and I know I'm talking to a group of people that are like, yep, I've been there, done that. So we want to move out of that, because ultimately what this is all about is bringing down and helping to eliminate your stress no matter what the situation. And if you can remember one thing, is that big, just make it like the big letter D. When you feel stressed, D, detach. D for detach. Make it funny, whatever. If you need to print it out, a big D, and hang it all over the place. Do it. I've done that as well. Triggers to remind me, okay, stress, detach. D. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or want to comment, go ahead and do that in the video. You can also reach me through my website, samhorwitz.com. It's samanthahorwitz.com. I use my full name, Samantha, Horwitz.com. And so you can reach me through my website. Again, comment here. And if you're liking these videos, you're liking this series, if you wouldn't mind sharing these videos and getting people to come over to this page, Facebook calls it the fan page. You know, I'm just going to solicit those follows and those likes. If you do that, you'll get notified when I go live on this page. And again, I hope it's with information that you find helpful. So thank you for the thumbs up. Until next time, I want to wish you it's Monday, so if you're watching this and you got a full days of work still left, I want to wish you a stressor-free Monday, and take these lessons and implement them into your week. So I wish you a stress-free week. Again, if you want to contact me through my website, samanthahorwitz.com, you can comment here on this video. And until next time, folks, I'm out.